Hey, Caesar.
Hi, Caesar.
Yeah, good. Are you listening to Billy Conley? we could hear Billy Conley on the other end.
No, just pop up on my phone. No, all this how you call it, fake news and all that stuff.
Okay.
You just pop up and check it out. Vinny Connolly was talking. It's hilarious anyway.
Sorry, what was that?
It's hilarious anyway.
Yeah.
How are your plans to go to Spain going?
It has been delayed.
But you're still planning on going?
Plan is there, but circumstances here are quite limiting at the moment.
Caesar, just wondering if it seems like if I don't attend satsang for a while, that there seems to be like more to clear. Like more like it, and when I finally do attend satsang again, it's just I have to start off from it seems like I'm starting from further back or something. I don't know, that's what the feeling is.
No, can you start from scratch again, because from zero, because you said that again.
If I don't attend satsang for a while, my mind just becomes more and more murky. Is that some kind of imprint that, like, does it, being in the world, leave an imprint on the mind and it becomes more identified?
If you don't attend satsang.
Yeah, if I don't tune into you.
The thing is that in satsang, understanding correctly what satsang means, that's how to call it? It's a common factor, right? This is what I don't want to open the phone because it may be another. Another joke. There's a common factor that people say that when there is satsang, either the mind keeps quiet spontaneously, or it is easy for them to keep the mind quiet. People tend to attribute that to Caesar because of Caesar, right? But Caesar has nothing to do with it. It's not in charge, right?
Sure.
Now, when we are not in satsang, we may find ourselves again back in the mess of our mind. But what is satsang anyway? But to merge the mind, which is the very sense of individuality, in its reality, in its source, which is realized eventually as one's own self.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get caught also depends upon the circumstances that we live, situations around, whatever it is, right?
Right.
We might find it too complicated or annoying or too challenging or threatening or whatever, right? And the mind just boom, wakes up and goes bananas. And then we forget satsang, which is to merge all that, right? Which is the individual, right? Where the individual think and the individual are one and the same. I and what I think, all that collectively is what is called thought, right?
Yeah.
And then when we come here somehow, and we come to satsang, somehow all that either disappears or it doesn't bother you that much if it still is running around in your head. Or it is easy to calm down the mind and to keep it still.
Yeah.
The moment you are merging, or the time that the mind is merging the reality, it dissolves, right? Its content.
Mm.
It's very rare that you bring the mind to its reality and then it disappears once for all. It's not that. Let me open the door to the dog because poor thing, she wants to
Sure.
come inside. She's trying to open the door. Yeah. So, what was I saying?
It's very rare that.
It's very rare that you merge the sense of individuality in the reality and it doesn't bounce back. It generally bounces back because still there is something there. An unfulfilled desire or a belief, some preconceived ideas and all that stuff. Some fears or whatever, right?
Right.
And it bounces back. And when it bounces back, it comes all together with the body identity, right?
Yeah.
The mind is like a grain of salt. And then more grains are attached to it. And becomes like a big bowl of salt, right? If it was one grain, see, the renal grain, the third eye, you put it in the water, it may dissolve straight away. But the I thought, see, and the other thoughts are one and the same. So when you merge it in the water of the reality, it dissolves. But because still there are so many grains, see, sticking to each other, right? Bounces back.
Good analogy.
So the mind can be divided in like this. When it function as the imprints, right?
Uh-huh.
It's called memory. Mhm. When it functions as the capacity to discriminate, see, to take decisions in one daily life, is called the intellect. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
When it is externalized through the senses and identifying itself with the body, is called the ego, right? This is what
Right.
this part is what thought actually is, body identity. Mhm. For daily life activities, you need the knowledge that you have from the intellect, because you need to discriminate. You need to know this is a speaker, or it's called a speaker, and this is called a phone, and this is blue, and this is black, and this is metal, and this is plastic, and so on, right?
Mhm.
And then you need the knowledge and the intellect to say, okay, which one shall I pick, right? You need to
Sure.
take an action, right? Then shall I take the speaker or the phone? So you need that knowledge. That is completely inoffensive. We are not concerned about that, right?
Uh-huh.
We are concerned about the I am the body idea, and it is the body that is taking the decision, has the free will to choose either this one or that one.
Sure.
So thought, mind, ego, individual is basically the I thought. That's the meaning of the I thought. Thought I means, when I means body.
Right.
I am the body. That's the whole dilemma. Or at least it appears to be. We are not concerned about body activity. We are concerned about body identity.
Right. Okay.
Even this closing your eyes in a particular mood, in a particular position, is one form of conditioning, and it's based on body identity. Sometimes I'm seated and the eyes just shoot down.
Uh-huh.
I'm not trying to meditate. They just shoot down, open up.
Mm.
Sometimes I may be aware of the surrounding and the body, sometimes not. It's like the same condition of deep sleep when there is no body consciousness, but still you are conscious of being. Mhm. You are not unconscious.
Right. Okay.
You are not self-aware, so to speak. I mean, you remain self-aware. Okay, be careful, because every time I open my phone, something I show. I have 5,000 friends. So if you knew the tremendous amount of stuff that I receive here,
You need a secretary.
I need a secretary. It's okay, it's always going on. Gone.
So it's not only the intellectual understanding that these thoughts that
All your beliefs, let's say that your thought process, within your thought process or in your thought process, there is no belief.
Uh-huh.
Whether it's a spiritual, spiritual, religious, I don't know, of cultural, of any other kind. I'm not losing my memory. I still I still know how to speak English, right? To a certain extent. So the language is there. I remember the language, right? And I'm speaking to you now. But you don't use that memory, right? That is a form of conditioning, right? I learn how to speak English, right? But when I express myself in English, there is no belief in it, right? Including the belief I am the body.
Right.
Of course, this is not blue and this is not the speaker, right? This simply is. But I have the memory, right? The knowledge that this, I was told this is called a speaker and it is blue, etc., etc., etc. Right?
Uh-huh.
But this is a practical thing, right? But you know that this is not a speaker and this is not blue. I have to say so I can function apparently sanely in the world. This is the self, right?
Right.
But imagine, how can I say, this is the self, this is the self. Can you please, the self saying to itself, pass me the self. Wow. Right?
Yeah, sure.
But the problem is not thinking. The problem is thinking I am the body. When I think I am the body, the world is perceived as separate from myself. And I am the subject, the world is the object, right? And I am the subject of whatever is happening in the world. So this is happening to me. So there is this and me.
Sure.
There's a mind. I and you, I and this, I and that, duality, separation, differentiation, independence, and good and evil, basically. Oh, here's Billy Connolly again. Yeah, when you click, I didn't know that you click on something and then somehow the application just assume that you want to see more of that and then bombards you with the same thing. And sometimes when you scroll down, it's just if you scrolling fast, you're not interested, but you stop somewhere randomly, right? It can be anything. You may be surprised what shows up there. And then it appears as if you are watching it, opening it. You are not. It just happens automatically. And they assume that you're interested in that stuff, and they send you more of that. Very Connolly at that point.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So are you following?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see the subtle beliefs that I have about the world. That still holds me in place, I guess.
The world, see, there is a belief that there is a world in the sense that
yeah.
there is a separate entity, there is a second entity, see? An objective
Yeah, sure.
thing called the world. So that demands the presence of the subject, right? There is a subject,
Right.
and that is the world. The world is the object, right?
Yeah.
If there is no ego, and you realize to be the self, then you realize also that the so-called world is not separate from you. The fall is also you.
Mm.
That's non-duality, right?
Right.
There is no I, and the world is not two.
Yeah, sure.
And this is a point of reference. In reality, there is not even non-duality. The term non-duality is because the people believe in non-duality. And then you have to have a counter thought, right? To explain, see that there is the self alone is, right?
Sure.
What else?
Nothing else.
So we thought that Caesar was smiling and happy because he's in Samadhi. No, he's just watching Billy Conn. For example, see, what this is about fruitcakes. Time to rise at consciousness, playing drums. Good Lord. You sounded like
Maybe-
Billy Connolly. You sounded like Billy Connolly. So, my friend,
Thanks, Cesar.
can I go to watch the blacklist?
Netflix.
The blacklist. The blacklist. Have you seen it?
No.
No.
Look for it. Do you have Netflix?
Unfortunately not. Or fortunately not.
Is it too expensive there or what?
Just prefer to go for a walk down the beach.
Right. Well, 11 o'clock in 10:30 at night, it's difficult for me to to go anywhere.
Fair enough.
Okay, guys, then see you tomorrow.
Next week.
Bye bye.
Right, Cesar.
Okay, hasta mañana.
Hasta luego.
Me estaban echando broma porque justo cuando me llegó un mensaje y entonces llegan las notificaciones. Y yo como soy un dinosaurio y un burro, a veces aprietas el botón ¡prum! Y sale algo que se dispara. A veces se me olvida quitarle el volumen, ¡pam! Estaban muerto la risa porque pensaban que mientras yo estaba aquí estaba viendo videos de un comediante irlandés que se llama Billy Connolly. Ok, nos vemos mañana. No, no está en Samadhi, está viendo comedia. Por eso está tan contento. Hasta mañana.